This is Charlie Kao with Travel Mall Media Group in Fort Worth, Texas at the Airline Travel Payment Summit with Mike Carlo, who's the head of travel solution for WEX, W-E-X. Good morning.
Good morning, Charlie. How are you?
Very good, very good.
Excellent.
Please fill us in on what WEX does and what are some of the latest innovations.
So, I think it's to understand WEX, it's kind of important to understand the history of the company. We started off as a fleet card issuer. So, if a company had a trucking fleet that needed to get gas at different terminals around the country, around the world, that was our first product. About 15 years ago, we innovated quite a bit, and we started to create virtual MasterCard and Visa cards for the travel industry. And up until the past year or so, our core business was working with OTA clients and enabling them to pay their suppliers. Specifically, what that means is an OTA like Orbitz, Expedia, serves as a merchant of record with its consumer. The OTA receives funds, but they still need to pay the hotel. So what we do as WEX is we work with the OTAs to create a single-use virtual credit card which is inserted into their booking process so that when the guest checks in at the property, there's a form of payment there already. The great thing about this innovation was it resolved a lot of issues with adhering to the existing guest check-in process, which helps the front desk staff. It is actually done in a way that is more cost-efficient for the hotel, and in a way that provides a financial benefit back to the OTA. So basically, we've streamlined the reconciliation process, the guest check-in process, and made it less expensive for everyone in the process flow, which is great. So I joined WEX about a year ago, and with a mandate to expand and diversify our portfolio to other areas of the travel sector. One of the things that we've been working on this year is taking this technology and building it out to TMCs and corporate travel agents. So we've been working on that very similar process flow, but more directly tied to the GDS now. Our next product launch will be working with UATP, so that airlines that issue UATP cards, which today can only be used for air travel, will now be able to be used for hotel and car rental. So UATP will process the transaction, but will subsequently and hopefully seamlessly issue a WEX Virtual MasterCard for the hotel and car rental booking. So from the hotel and the car rental standpoint, they're just getting a MasterCard. They don't really have to sign on to take UATP. So that's one of the upcoming innovations. Where I see this going in the future is much more broadly into the airline sector, looking at things such as misconnected passengers. Like if you're getting a $25 meal voucher because your flight is 4 hours late, there's no reason that our technology can't be repurposed for that. We can do things with crew reservations. We can do things with lost luggage. So to me, that's where I see our history of innovation taking us over the next couple of years.
Could you describe for those who don't know, what is a virtual card?
Yes, it is that's a great question. It's basically a 16-digit MasterCard, complete with a CVV, that is designed for one use. And
one transaction.
One transaction. So if you have booked a hotel through an OTA, and that hotel room is 243 euros, we issue a virtual MasterCard for 243 euros. We can put all sorts of MCC restrictions on it, so you can only use that card at a hotel. We can do a date requirement. So if your check-in date is December 8th, we might only activate the card between December 7th and December 10th. So it enables the process flow to be secure. So there are all these mechanisms that prevent it from being any sort of fraudulent transaction, because we use single-use cards that are not reused, it makes for a convenient one-to-one reconciliation. There are some in the industry that actually repurpose cards. We try not, we don't do that. The other thing that's unique about what we're doing is it's not a pre-funded card. So if you're an OTA and you're creating a WEX virtual card for a hotel booking in March of 2016, you don't pay us anything until March of 2016. So we actually develop a credit scoring model based on the OTA's financials, and we'll offer a line of credit.
And just to clarify, this virtual card you issued for that hotel, €240, is provided to the hotel.
Correct.
And it has a value of €240.
Yes.
That they can transfer that value to their bank account.
Well, what they will do is they'll process it through their standard acquiring process.
It's a credit.
Yep. And for the benefit of our credit not pre-funded model is no one has to do anything until the guest arrives. It makes for refunds and cancellations are easier, more easily handled, and from a cash flow standpoint, many of the virtual card providers require a pre-funded amount. If you have a hotel stay in March, you don't want to pay the €240
till March.
Till March.
And then back to the OTA. Let's say it's March 27th that the stay is, and based on the business rule, that will be the date. The card will be funded.
Yes.
Do you actually take the money from the OTA bank account to fund it on that date, or when that hotel actually processes the credit?
It's all contingent on the hotel processing. They're requiring.
So they don't do it till April.
Right. If they never do it, the card, there's never a charge. I mean, obviously most hotels.
So they get the breakage. Huh?
Yeah.
Excellent. Mike Carlo, Head of Travel Solutions at WEX.
Thank you very much, Charlie.